So today we're going to be installing the Ford Sync4 upgrade kit for a F250, F150 to go from the factory screen to the new 12-inch screens. So I've found there's not really any good how-to videos to install these. We're a dealer for them, so wanted to make a video to show how to actually install them. So the kits come with a new API-M screen with the ACM attached to the back of them, bezel kits for both sides, your new climate control module, which has the LCD displays on them, which I think was only available in the 22s, adapter harness, and then the screen bezel. Get started, step one, pull your little mat out up here, and then you'll need to pull the speaker shroud off. It's got push clips underneath it. Show you how to pry that off. Then there'll be 2 screws underneath it. This entire piece will pop out, and then we'll work on getting the radio bezel out. So that the top cubby is removed along with the speaker, just make sure to unplug it, don't go yanking. We'll have 2 6mm here. The ones in the back were also 6 mils. Pull these 2 out, and then this whole piece will pop forward. Got these 2 screws out. This piece will just pull forward. And now we'll unplug it. So you got 3 across the top here. Two right here for the climate control. And now these on the top here, to get these loose, they have a little tab here. You'll just grab it with your fingernail and pull in. Now that we've got that out, we can start working on getting the factory screen out. It again will be 7 mils. You'll have 3 of them across the on each side. Set this off to the side. This guy will just pull straight out. Same thing, unplug it. So these can be kind of tricky. Tab on the back here, this bail connector, you'll press down on a little locking tab right here on the top and roll the gate over on it. Then you got your communication wire. Pull that off, and then your old API-M's right there. Now we get this bottom piece of trim off because it will get replaced with the new one from the kit. Again, 7 mils. And then this can be discarded, it won't be reused, but we save everything out of the kits here. So now we'll work on taking the center console loose to be able to slide it back. So work on getting, there's a couple trim pieces in here we got to take loose to get these side bezels off. So you'll have 1 7 mil up here in the front, and then you need to pull this little trim piece out here. So I'll go ahead and get this 7 out of the front here. And then you'll have a 10 that was behind this little trim piece. We will then have to pull this trim off the side. That was the point of taking that 7 out the front. you'll want to slide the seat all the way back. You'll have another 10 right here. Slide the seat all the way forward now, and you'll have one back here. So them having Loctite on them, just be careful. Work them in and out. They'll feel crunchy, but they will come out. And we'll slide the seat all the way back again, and then jump over to the passenger side. Repeating the same process, and then the center console will lift and slide back, and we'll show you that here in a second. 7 mil in the front, so it's just popping this trim off. Again, you'll have a 10 here. We're just working it back and forth to break up that blue Loctite. And then still need to pull this cover piece off and get that 10 out that attaches it to the dash. I'll slide the seat forward and get one behind the seat. So now we can take the center console, lift, and slide it back. That's all you really need to do there to be able to get to this stuff down here and get these two trim panels off. Now we can remove these side trim panels, which are always kind of sketchy to come off. Little trick with any of the connectors, push in on them, then press the locking tab in, then pull out. Makes it significantly easier to get them out. Have this out, we can go ahead and remove the charging port. It'll have these two tabs you press down on either side. A little bit outwards tension. And then that will get installed into the new dash bezel. And it just pops right in. Save the old parts, and now we can remove this side. Same thing, just grab kind of in up at the top. You want to pull the entire piece out as straight as possible. Same thing, unplug everything. We'll also transfer this stuff over. So it's got these three locking tabs here. Press those in. Little bit of downwards pressure with your thumb. Push that one, push that one. That guy slides out. It will then get installed back in. And then tab up here in the top, you have to depress. You can get the top edge starting to come out. Grab the bottom one, come back and work the top one a little bit more. And then it slides straight out. And then this will get installed here. The trailer brake control, grab this side and kind of work it out. It's got some push clips in it, but you can kind of overpower them. Plug this job, and then it will install, same as the other stuff, in a new dash bezel. So now we're gonna pull this radio module out, and we have to relocate it to a little bit deeper into the dash so that the new HVAC controls will fit, because they sit deeper. That was the whole point of getting this console out. So what we'll have to do is pull these brackets off the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it all the way out of the truck so I can actually get to these. We'll install the new brackets, and then this will get installed in the dash vertically. So these are all a little T10. Look at these pulled out. So I found the brackets for these kits never fit. So you'll put the module back in once the brackets are off the side. And if you could snake a zip tie through right here, you can tie the module up here, which will keep it somewhat secure, keep it from rattling, and it'll keep it up above the cubby in the center console here. Now we can start putting the new air conditioning module in. This piece will come in the kit. We'll install down here in the bottom. We'll start putting hardware back in it. And I mean, all this stuff is plastic, so no need to kill it as we're tightening it back up. So now we can go ahead and install the new HVAC module. Get this Johnny plugged in. It will have 3 plugs on it. This one doesn't have any pins. Don't worry about this one. That one doesn't get anything plugged into it. So now we can install this new one. And then let it sit there for the time being. We will install the new API-M onto the radio, install that, and then this will hold off that bottom bracket, so we'll do that first. So this comes in the kit. You'll install the pin connector onto the pin connector, and then we'll take the new ACM. We've got 3 holes here. This will bolt right up. We'll grab some screws out of the kit. And this guy will plug in right here. I can leave this kind of laid around the side. We'll unwrap our new harness. And then this will attach to the factory harness, and these will plug in inside the truck. So we'll go ahead and grab all of the other connections that need to go back. And then factory connection will go back together. And then these are for the shifter and cigarette lighter that we moved onto that dash bezel piece. So we'll pull these around. To where we can access them once this guy is installed. These feet up through here. This will sit just like so. And then it'll reuse the factory holes and factory hardware here. And then this will mount to that. I can make anything tight yet until I get all of my hardware at least started. And then the kit will come with the supplied hardware for this guy. So we'll now have to put on our side bezels. I like to connect it and then push this through. It gives you a little bit more of an angle to get this in. But these two side bezels hook in behind the HVAC module. So we need to get them in before we can fully attach this. And it just uses the factory style push clips all the way around. Then you can push this guy back in. Make sure you get a good fit. Let me go ahead and put this one in. Nothing to hook up on this side. Just need to get it behind this. Make sure we're not going to be covering up anything we got to plug back in. And also slide this over. So now that we've got the screen fully installed and we got both of our side bezels in, we can go ahead and put the climate control module or HVAC module in. Make sure everything gets clipped back in fully. So this will slide up underneath, clip in, and then as you rotate it up, it will lock into both of the side pieces. And pull them up snug. So now, as we install the flathead machine screws, there is one thing to note. Don't want to make these super tight right off the bat. Want to go ahead and get them installed. Just barely kiss them on both sides. And then want to go through and check all your buttons. As you can see, with that tightened up, the auto button gets stuck because of this top bezel piece, or top piece of plastic. As this tightens down, it twists it and puts pressure on here. So you want to go through and check all of your buttons that they operate and don't get stuck. As you're tightening it, kind of give this a little bit of outward rotation. And make sure, you can see here, these buttons are still getting stuck. It's from this top plastic. You want to just play with this just a little bit to make sure that none of your buttons are getting stuck. Like our Max IC button there is getting a little sticky. So we'll do the inverse here and pull down just slightly as we tighten. So we need to rotate it out just a little bit more on this side. And this can be a little bit of a tricky game. All of our buttons seem to be good now. So I'll give this just the slightest snug. They're all good to go. So now we can continue on to get the upper bezel in. You've also got one screw put in over here. These flathead machine screws and the little nuts that come with. Pull that together. Just want to make sure that you do have this clipped in behind, because it does help hold it all the way around. Make sure everything's seated. And at this point, we can slide the center console back in and check fitment with everything. Make sure this still opens freely. Pull this back up for the customer.
is a couple tabs in here that do need to line themselves up as you're going back together. Perfect fitment.
Beautiful. So now we can go ahead and install the final piece of the upgrade kit. Before we install this piece, we need to transpose these buttons across. So they, kind of like everything else, they have little push tabs in the back on each side of them. And we'll leave them in order. So no longer need that piece. So once we got these buttons swapped over, we can go ahead and get this piece installed. So the plug that we had up top for the radio controls, we'll bring this over for the four-wheel drive shifter. We'll get the cigarette lighter and charger plug back in. Then we'll come up top. And these are, and up top here, if you are worried about putting these back in the wrong spot, they are color-coded green and white for the green and gray plug. This last one you kind of can't see. All right. We'll tuck our harnesses down. This guy. I also made this mistake. Pull the protective film off now while you can still get to it, before you have to remove all this again. A little bit easier to see from outside the truck, but you'll have two screws that have to go into the back, into those tabs, and that will pull the bezel into the dash a little tighter. The final product. Everything functions normal with this kit. The cameras, you can view at any time, but I mean, you have all the normal functionality of the new trucks. Phone, built-in navigation, all that stuff with the split screens. It also has wireless Apple CarPlay. All the same settings. Everything works pretty good. They fit pretty good. Little difficult, tricky to install, especially with the kind of stuff, or the stuff up here, getting that tied into the back, and just getting these to fit perfectly is a little bit of a challenge, and especially with the buttons, making sure none of those stick. It's a big thing, but got it all installed.